Hello, I am fresh out of the shower, as you can probably tell. I don't have any makeup on yet because I wanted to share with you my everyday makeup routine and how I would elevate that for more of a special occasion. But first of all, do you have a fuzzy robe? Why wouldn't you want to walk around your house with a fuzzy blanket attached to your body? And then second, I am drinking coffee out of this dog mug, which has a little Wally on it, and it looks just like my dog. Speaking of my dog, if you hear some weird noises, he just got neutered a couple days ago and has a cone on his head, and every time he keeps hitting it on things and it's quite loud, so sorry if you noticed that. But I did want to start off by just sharing with you that many days I actually choose not to wear makeup, or I choose to wear barely any at all. I have varied levels of what kind of makeup I wear. And I've worked really hard to be at a point where I'm confident in the way I look without makeup. A couple years ago, I felt this pressure to put on makeup even on days when I didn't want to have makeup on. I spent probably 3 months not wearing makeup at all, really, and that has helped me look at myself without makeup and just be used to it and be like, yeah, that's me. But I do still enjoy makeup, and so there are days where I want to have more makeup on, and so then I wear more makeup. It's fun having the freedom of doing what you actually feel like doing. So I've already put on lotion on my face. Second thing I like to do is kind of tame these brows. First thing I like to do, brush them to tame them a little bit so that they're not so old man wild. My dark circles aren't too bad right now, but I do like to have pretty full coverage over that because I don't really like when my dark circles are overtaking my face. And so I found that this Becca concealer actually has pretty good coverage while still blending in naturally. So I just put on a few dots of that. I just kind of cover up like my main spots that stand out a little more and bother me. Yeah, I have other redness. I'm choosing not to really care about that. So then I take my ring finger, because someone once told me that that is the most gentle finger to blend out your makeup, and I want to be gentle with these eyes of mine. So I pat that in. I actually purposely leave my pimple concealer on a little bit so that it will set and like be more likely to actually stay on top of the pimple. I really like this Tarte Bronzer. As you can see, I have used the crap out of this. So I just rub it into my cheekbone, kind of at an angle, so that I'm not making my cheeks go down. I want to be helping them pop, going up, lifting my face. Sure, we could say that. I do put just like a tiny bit on my nose, just the excess that's left on the brush, just so it's not like a major contrast between my cheeks to my nose. I basically put it where the sun actually naturally hits my face. I kind of drag a little bit of it, connecting this, going up into my hairline. That's it. And honestly, I so often go to work just like this. Then if I'm really feeling extra on a given regular normal day, I will put some mascara on, which I know is crazy. That a lot of days I just don't even wear mascara, even though I have other makeup on. Love that. Actually really hard to do this looking into my phone as the mirror. So there's I have some makeup on, but barely. Everyday makeup. So I'm actually going to leave now. Go about my life, and then I'm gonna come back, probably with dry hair by then. Because yes, I do leave my house with wet hair, and I'm okay with that. I'm gonna leave now and come back later and show you how I would enhance this for more of a special occasion. Oh, and by the way, yes, I did clean that mascara off of my eye before leaving. I just waited for it to dry so that it would rub off easier. Okay, see you later. So I just got home from church, was listening to my favorite early 2000s rap, hip hop, R&B, love it. And I thought I would show you what my natural makeup looks like in natural lighting. Hi. I'm just trying to show that, like, I do have imperfections. I am aware of that, and I'm not ashamed of it. Like, why are we so concerned with making our skin look like it's perfect when no one has perfect skin? You know? Of course, I do sometimes put on something to even my skin tone out, as you're gonna see in this next clip. And I actually went ahead and washed my makeup off so that I could actually put a base on my face, because this is now going to be the enhanced version of my natural makeup look. I don't really ever wear foundation. I used to a lot. In fact, I used to actually have a period where I wore more full coverage foundation even. But now when I do want to even out my skin tone a little bit, I like to use this Bare Minerals. It's called Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream, and it has SPF 30, which is awesome. And it's basically a BB cream or a tinted moisturizer. So I just put like a pea-sized amount on my fingers. I don't use a brush because I cannot be bothered having to wash a brush all the time. I use my hands, and it works because it is more like a lotion anyway. I want a little more coverage, or kind of like in my T-zone, I get a lot more redness there. And so I'm just gonna put a little more. I'm just gonna kind of blend it into my skin a little more. It also kind of gives me a little bit of a glow, which I like, because I like that more healthy skin, natural makeup look. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same steps I did earlier with my concealer and bronzer. So I went ahead and blended that. Overall, I have a lot more of an even skin tone, but it's still natural because I'm not trying to go too crazy with it for me. Everyone has their own level of comfort that they like. When I put on this Bare Minerals, since it does give me a glow, sometimes I can go too far and make me a little too shiny in certain areas. But I do like to still have some of that glow. So what I do is I take a powder, but I actually purposely don't put any powder right here because I really like the natural glow that kind of comes in this area of my face, and so I keep it. I use the setting powder by Milk, their Blur and Set Matte Loose setting powder. It's called Translucent Medium. So I go ahead and take my brush, dip a little bit of that powder, just a tiny bit, to set my under eyes. Before I did this, I made sure I didn't have any creases because I don't want to be setting a crease. Why would I want to do that? No, thank you. So that just took some of my shine away, but it's still a natural look. Then this is when I would go ahead and put my bronzer on. And because I'm putting more bronzer on my cheeks, I am going to drag that just a little bit onto my jawline. Now I'm kind of doing that, what people talk about as like the 3 on your face. When I'm just putting a little bronzer on, I don't worry too much about that, but because I'm doing more, I want to go ahead and drag some of it down here as well, just a little bit. All right, so my bronzer's done. So now that my bronzer's on, I would go ahead and add in this blush. This is by Lancome. My mom gave it to me. It's called Sheer Amarose. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. So it's just like this natural pink. And I go ahead and use the same brush I used for my bronzer. It works. Start right where I get this apple of my cheek, but not too far in. And then put that on and then blend it in with my bronzer. Just adds like a little pink cheeriness back to my face. And I actually love this bronzer so much that I do use it as an eyeshadow quite often. So I'm going to take just a fluffy brush, tap it into my bronzer a little bit, and sometimes I literally just only put this on my eyes. And I kind of just blend it up a little, but I don't want a harsh line. I just want it to kind of like fade into my brow bone. Even just that right there, I think adds some dimension that makes you maybe want to look at my eyes a little bit more. So yeah, a lot of the time when I'm doing something extra fancy, I would literally just leave it as this, like put some mascara on with this and call that good. But for the sake of this video, I will show you what I do if I'm trying to do a little bit more. And you know, something I just noticed is, you see how like right here, it looks like I went a little too far with my bronzer. It shouldn't have come like all the way close to my mouth like that. So what I'm gonna do to correct that is I'm gonna get just a tiny bit of my BB cream, and I'm just going to put it right there. And there, that's better. Now it's not like coming down into my mouth, which is good. So now I'm brushing my brows into place. I literally never do anything with my brows, but if I was, let's say in a wedding where like I knew for the entire day I may be having my picture taken and I want to know for sure that my brows are going to be set in place and not having hairs go all over the place, that's what I call my grandpa eyebrows, then I'll just take like a gel, a clear gel, and put it on just to kind of set them there. But I never do that. Like that's literally maybe once a year I will actually bother with that. And my brows, I feel, are strong enough on their own that they don't really need me to do much else to them. I accept them as they are. Okay, so now I am going to do a little bit more with my eyeshadow, as if I was going to a really special occasion. And for a lot of you, this may be what you do like every day, and that's fine. I'm sharing with you how I like to elevate my look. I really like this palette. I really like using this to like build up my crease, or use it along my lash line. And I will also use this sometimes if I want like a warmer brown as well. And this is just by Smashbox. It's a little tiny eyeshadow palette. I love that because it makes it easy to travel with. I'm gonna go ahead and just take my brush, and I'll start by dipping into this warmer brown here. And I'm just going to focus this right here and along my crease. I already have this transition shade from my bronzer. I'm just trying to build in more definition to my eyes to make it pop, kind of almost making a V through here. So I'm just gonna take that and start building. And then I'm sweeping it into my crease to add some more definition there. I take the fluffy side of my brush and just swiper motions, really blend that in nice and clean. All right, so I went ahead and did my other eye as well. And to me, that just like makes my eyes stand out a little bit more on my face. And then I'm going to add this Stila eyeshadow that is a liquid. It's very shimmery. So what I'm going to do is I now want to open up my lid in my inner corner. So I'm adding dimension on the outer corner and opening up this section. And so this is where I'm going to focus my lighter shadow, which will be this. And so I just take the applicator and go ahead and put it on my lid. And I don't want to blend it over my crease, but I do want to kind of blend it up to the top of my eyelid. I'm going to blend it in with my eyeshadow a little bit better. And now I'm also adding a little bit in my inner corner here. I'm going to take this darker brown color and smudge that into my lash line using this eyeliner brush, just right along the lash line here. And then to soften it, I'm gonna take this dense side of the brush and just smudge that in along my lash line a little bit more. It'll make my lashes look quite a bit thicker. And when I'm putting that eyeshadow along my lash line, I'm purposely stopping about right here in the middle of my eye. So I'm really just thickening up that outer corner of my eye. I want to keep the inner corner still light so that I'm helping open up my eyes. And then I also like to take this medium brown and I will put that in my lower lash line. I'm just going to go right up to my lash line and only take it, you know, part way in and then blend it out. And now I'm going to add a little more highlight into the inner corner of my eyes. I like this Urban Decay Afterglow Highlighter in the color Sin. Ooh, because it's actually pretty similar to my actual skin color, but it just has that little bit of shimmer to it. It's still very natural highlighter. Starting with a new fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna dip that in. And this stuff actually is pretty strong, so I'm just dipping it in gently. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put that a little bit more on the inner corner, blend that into my eyelid slightly, just to add a little bit more brightness in there. And I think the shimmer is pretty. And then I'm also going to add that to this area of my cheek that you can see is already naturally, the light is bouncing off this area. And so I want to try to follow that same natural spot that the light hits my face. And I also like a little bit on my brow bone. So I'm done putting on my mascara. So now I would go ahead and either put on lip gloss or lipstick. So I'll show you just a sheer lip gloss. So that just kind of added a little bit, a teeny bit of color to my lips, a little bit of health back to them. I also have this colored lip gloss that I could put on instead. That just adds a little bit of color to my lips. And fun fact, this is actually, this lip is from my wedding. When the makeup artist did my makeup, she sent me with this lip gloss and I brought this with me so I could reapply throughout the day, and I've been married for almost 6 years and I still use this. So here's the makeup in more of a natural lighting. I'm sitting right in front of a window right now. So I'll try to show you different angles. So there you go. I still think it's overall natural, just adding a little extra something something for a special occasion, and I feel pretty. And that's what makeup should do. It should just help you enhance your features that you already have that are already beautiful as they are. You don't need it. But it's a fun thing to put on every now and then, just to add a little extra touch to our already beautiful faces. But I hope you enjoyed this, and if you have any questions about the products I used, please leave those questions down below. And I hope you have a great day and feel beautiful.